You know what's wild? You did everything they swore was impossible for somebody who wasn't born plugged in, and you did it without bending your integrity even once you moved up on your own terms, through your own grit, through your own vision, through your own damn backbone. And now the same people who acted blind to your potential can feel your energy before they even see your name pop up. They won't admit it out loud, but you can already tell you're making certain individuals uncomfortable without even speaking. That's the part that exposes them, not your mouth, your movement, not your pleas, your progress, not your weakness, your evolution. And that's exactly what they thought would never happen. The reason they study you in secret is simple. Your rise didn't come with announcements or theatrics. It came from consistency. It came from discipline. It came from late nights nobody saw and early mornings nobody respected. You didn't ask for a boost. You didn't wait for a favor. You didn't hold your hand out to people who only help when cameras are on. You went forward on your own and built step by step. And now the ones who told you to wait your turn are stuck watching you create turns they can't keep up with. They don't talk about that part in public. They whisper it in corners when your name stings their chest. What's killing them is that you didn't follow their script. You didn't shrink yourself to make insecure people feel taller. You didn't bow down to egos that expected you to kneel. You didn't run around trying to be accepted by individuals who only support when there's something in it for them. You moved with intention. You upgraded your mindset. You kept your distance from people who played both sides. And instead of staying stuck in the same cycles, you broke free and started carrying yourself with the type of certainty they pretend to have, but never mastered. And now, the real rage starts simmering for them. Because once your elevation became obvious, you didn't do a single damn thing to make them feel included. You didn't come crawling for approval. You didn't kiss nobody's ass for opportunities they gatekeep based on fake popularity. You didn't hop on nobody's dick for acceptance, attention, or access. You didn't beg for seats at tables run by cowards who think they control who wins. You stood on your own ground, and the whole foundation around you started shaking. That's exactly why they're up at 3 a.m. scrolling your page, watching your glow with jealousy burning holes through their chest. They watching every move you make, hitting your profile from burner accounts, trying to figure out how the hell you kept rising when the plan was to leave you stuck. They thought ignoring you would break you. They thought overlooking you would silence you. They thought excluding you would humble you. Instead, it made you dangerous. It made you focused. It made you realize that you don't need a damn soul to become everything you promised yourself you would be. You want to know the real reason they're sick? It's because they spent years trying to convince you that you needed them, that your success depended on their approval, that your growth depended on their circles, that your shine depended on their mentions. But look at you now, standing exactly where they said you couldn't reach, doing exactly what they said you weren't capable of, proving that every doubt thrown at you was just insecurity, disguised as advice. And now they gotta swallow the truth that you did all this without riding anyone's dick for clout. The game changed when you stopped giving access to people who never deserved it. You stopped letting leeches drink from your energy. You stopped letting manipulators feed off your kindness. You stopped letting jealous folks sit at your table pretending they were clapping for you. You stopped entertaining conversations that drained your spirit. You stopped chasing validation from people who couldn't validate their own identity. And the moment you cut all that dead weight, your elevation turned into something they can't handle. They hate that you healed. They hate that you stopped doubting yourself. They hate that you started trusting your decisions. They hate that you took your power back. They hate that your glow isn't borrowed from somebody else's spotlight. They hate that your rise wasn't sponsored, handed down, or gifted. Everything they have came with conditions. Everything you have came from perseverance. And that's why your success triggers them on a level they can't even explain. Half of these people were comfortable when you were struggling. They preferred you in pain because it made them feel important. They liked you insecure because it made them feel needed. They liked you confused because it made them feel superior. They liked you doubting yourself because it allowed them to control the narrative. But now that you've stepped into who the hell you really are, now that you've outgrown their emotional leash, now that you're walking around with that unshakable energy, that confidence, that presence, that self-made glow you earned, yeah, now they're furious. They spreading rumors. They sending side comments. They pretending they don't see you but watching everything you post. They acting unbothered but can't stop revisiting your page. They acting cool but crying in their group chats. They acting supportive but praying you fall off. They hate that you made it to a level they didn't expect you to reach without kissing up to anybody. You dismantled their whole worldview just by existing as yourself. You ever notice how the people who doubted you the hardest suddenly start acting distant when you win? That's because your success exposes the truth. They never wanted you to succeed more than them. They wanted you below them, behind them, dependent on them, grateful for crumbs they threw. They didn't want to see you thrive. They wanted to feel superior. Your glow ruined that illusion. Your independence ruined that fantasy. Your progress ruined their ego. Now they walk around avoiding eye contact, avoiding conversations, avoiding the reality that your name brings heat to any room you enter. They can't talk down on you anymore. They can't play you low anymore. They can't manipulate you anymore. And instead of working on their own life, they obsess over yours. It's easier for them to stalk your steps than fix their own insecurities. But here's the part that keeps them tossing in bed at night. You did not switch up. You leveled up. You didn't lose yourself. You found yourself. You didn't betray anybody. You protected your peace. And even though they tried to make you feel wrong for choosing yourself, you stood firm. You didn't fold. You didn't break. You kept rising past every attempt to distract, derail, or discourage you. They can't say the same. Understand something. They aren't mad at your glow. They're mad they no longer have influence over your shine. They're mad they no longer have access to your energy. They're mad they can't attach themselves to your journey anymore. They're mad they can't take credit for your progress. They're mad that you're winning without their handprints anywhere near your success. You're self-made in a world full of puppets, and that alone separates you. Your presence now carries weight. It carries history. It carries proof. When you step into a room, you're not just a person, you're a reminder of what resilience looks like, a reminder of what authenticity creates, a reminder of what happens when someone refuses to sell their pride for attention. You're walking evidence that you don't need to ride anybody's dick to rise. And when insecure people see that, it crushes them. Let's be honest, your glow up isn't soft. It's loud as hell. Not because you brag, but because your existence hits different. People can feel your change before you open your mouth. They sense your focus. They sense your growth. They sense your elevation. They sense your boundaries. They sense your healed energy. And the ones who never thought you would reach this point are shaking, wondering how the hell you pulled it off without the shortcuts they worship. Because you didn't get here through gossip. You didn't get here through begging. You didn't get here through fake friendships. You didn't get here through brown nosing. You got here through discipline, pain, self-respect, and a level of courage they can't even imitate. And that is exactly why your name hits their nerves now. Watch how quiet they get when your blessings show up. Watch how the support slows down when you start winning. Watch how the congratulations sound forced when they realize you passed them up. Watch how they avoid your presence when they realize they can no longer treat you like an option. Because deep down, they know you're rising in a way they cannot duplicate. And the more you elevate, the more their masks fall. You are in a new era, and they feel it before you speak it. Your growth is confronting for people who haven't done their own. Your glow is painful for people who never healed. Your strength is offensive to people who built identities around weakness. Your confidence is threatening to people who rely on others to feel valuable. You stand as proof that independence is still powerful, and authenticity still wins, and that kills the illusions they hide behind. You didn't just move up, you leveled past their reach. And when somebody who wasn't supposed to win ends up standing on ground they never imagined you'd touch, the whole environment shifts. Suddenly the same doors that stayed shut for you start creaking open, not because they grew respect, but because your presence now forces acknowledgement. Suddenly the same people who ignored you are checking the temperature whenever your name comes up. Suddenly the ones who swore you'd never make it are adjusting their tone, because the version of you they thought they could predict doesn't exist anymore. You became unpredictable, unstoppable, unbothered, and uninterested in circles that once made you feel small. That's what eats them alive, the realization that you don't orbit their permission anymore. Because the truth is, your rise wasn't supposed to be this loud. It wasn't supposed to be this obvious. It wasn't supposed to be this undeniable. They thought you'd stay exactly where they left you, confused, insecure, waiting for someone to validate your potential, waiting for someone to choose you, waiting for someone to open a lane for you. But the moment you chose yourself, the moment you said, "Fuck it, I'll build my own lane," everything changed. That decision was the fork in the road. That moment was the shift that made them uncomfortable. Not because you succeeded, but because you succeeded without kissing anybody's ass for a shortcut. They didn't think you had the stamina. They didn't think you had the discipline. They didn't think you had the courage to separate from environments that drained you, conversations that dimmed you, relationships that caged you, and people who needed you to stay beneath them to feel tall. They never thought you'd have the confidence to say, "Nah, I'm good," and walk away from validation you used to crave. They don't lose sleep because you're winning. They lose sleep because you're winning without them. You proved they weren't necessary. You proved their approval wasn't required. You proved their opinions were noise, not instructions. And trust me, there's nothing that bruises a jealous heart more than realizing the person they underestimated became someone they can no longer reach, influence, or manipulate. That's why they're studying you. That's why they're lurking from fake pages. That's why they're replaying your moves in their mind, trying to decode your formula. They want to know how the hell you climbed that high without riding anyone's dick for access. They want to know how the hell you built that confidence without fake friends hyping you up. They want to know how the hell you kept going after every loss, betrayal, and setback that was supposed to break you. They want to know how the hell you became this version of yourself without their hands shaping it. It pisses them off because your glow isn't borrowed, it's built. Your elevation wasn't gifted, it was earned. Your progress wasn't accidental, it was intentional. And you didn't sell your integrity to get it. You didn't water yourself down to fit in spaces that weren't designed for you. You didn't beg anybody to see you. You didn't ride waves to stay relevant. You didn't depend on anyone's clout to get traction. Everything you've become is the result of your own grind, your own wounds, your own discipline, and your own inner work. That's why your glow hits different. It triggers them because it's real. People who cheat the process hate people who went through it. People who ride dick for relevance hate people who earned relevance through consistency. People who kiss ass for validation hate people who built self-worth without outside approval. People who depend on recognition to feel valuable hate. People who learned how to recognize their own strength. And that's exactly why they hate you. You remind them of everything they lacked the courage to be. You know why they can't stand your glow up. Because it exposes the truth about their path. They did all that fake shit for attention. They did all that extra shit to stay relevant. They did all that sneaky shit to be accepted. They followed trends because they couldn't lead themselves. They chased circles because they couldn't stand being alone. They lost themselves trying to impress people who don't even remember their name now. But you rose without those props. You rose without selling out. You rose without losing yourself. And that contrast is humiliating for them. Now every win you get hits them in the chest. Every accomplishment reminds them of where they could have been if they hadn't doubted you or themselves. Every move you make reminds them that authenticity still wins. Every new level you unlock reminds them that shortcuts are for cowards and self-discipline is for legends. So yeah, they're sick. Sick with envy, sick with regret, sick with the silence of watching you become someone they didn't prepare for. But here's the real punch. They can't admit it. They can't say, "Damn, I misjudged them." They can't say, "Damn, I should have supported them when I had the chance." They can't say, "Damn, I'm jealous because they're doing better than me." Instead, they pretend they don't see you rising. They pretend your growth means nothing. They pretend they're unbothered. They pretend they don't watch your page before they go to sleep. They pretend they don't refresh your profile to see what you posted. They pretend they don't talk about you in rooms that never mattered. But their behavior exposes them. Their obsession exposes them. Their tension exposes them. Every time your name comes up, they get quiet. Every time you walk into a room, their energy shifts. Every time someone praises you, they feel their stomach turn. Every time you succeed, they feel smaller. Not because you're competing with them, but because they're competing with you, even though you stopped playing that game a long time ago. You're in your own lane, on your own timing, building your own foundation, but they still trying to keep up with a pace that wasn't meant for them. And the craziest part, you didn't even want this reaction. You weren't trying to flex. You weren't trying to impress. You weren't trying to be better than anybody. You were just trying to be better than who you used to be. You were just trying to elevate your life. You were just trying to grow past your past. But when people are attached to the older version of you, your growth feels personal to them. They feel betrayed that you outgrew their expectations. They feel abandoned because they can no longer control you. They feel threatened because they can no longer predict you. You didn't betray them. You betrayed their low expectations. You didn't abandon them. You abandoned the version of yourself that accepted their bullshit. You didn't threaten them. You threatened the comfort they had in thinking you'd never rise. You didn't change for them. You changed for yourself. But that's something insecure people can't process. To them, your elevation looks dangerous. Your boundaries look disrespectful. Your confidence looks arrogant. Your healing looks fake. Your progress looks suspicious. Your independence looks rebellious. They can't understand how someone made of scars could become someone made of strength. But you know better. You carried every wound, every betrayal, every disappointment as fuel. You turned every "you'll never make it" into movement. You turned every "you need us" into separation. You turned every "that's not possible for you" into proof that it was. And now they're choking on the reality that you didn't just take off. You took off without their permission, without their guidance, without their validation, without their applause. You became self-sufficient in a world addicted to cosigns. You became resilient in a world addicted to shortcuts. You became authentic in a world addicted to pretending. And that shit is rare. That shit is powerful. That shit is threatening to people who built their entire identity around being needed. What really keeps them up at night is the fact that you're not done. The version of you they see right now, that's just the warm-up. That's just the opening credits. That's just the foundation. You're still climbing. You're still evolving. You're still unlocking levels. You haven't even announced yet. And they know it. They can feel it. You can always tell when someone feels the shift in your energy. They get nervous. They get quiet. They get distant. They start acting weird, passive-aggressive, or dismissive because your growth exposes their stagnation. You moved up without kissing nobody's ass, and that's why your name hits harder now. It's not the success. It's the integrity behind it. It's not the spotlight. It's the story behind it. It's not the glow. It's the grit behind it. It's the fact that you didn't ride dick for opportunities. You created your own. You didn't follow crowds. You followed purpose. You didn't seek acceptance. You sought alignment. And because of that, your elevation feels earned, not gifted. And here's what stings them the most. You didn't need to hurt anybody to rise. You didn't need to betray anybody to rise. You didn't need to manipulate anybody to rise. You didn't need to fake friendships or kiss up to influencers or join cliques. You didn't respect. You didn't need to play dirty. You didn't need to be messy. You didn't need to become someone you're not. You stayed solid. You stayed grounded. You stayed focused. And that, ironically, is the exact reason you pass them. People who cheat the process always crumble eventually. People who depend on others always fall apart when alone. People who fake their glow always flicker out. But you became unbreakable because you were forged in pressure, not popularity. And now that you're rising, you don't owe anybody explanations. You don't owe anybody access. You don't owe anybody forgiveness. You don't owe anybody discounts to your peace. You don't owe anybody a seat in chapters they didn't help build. Your story is moving forward, and you're done dragging dead weight to the next level. That's why the room feels different when you walk in. That's why your energy feels heavier now. That's why your presence makes people shift in their seats. You're no longer the version of yourself they were comfortable disrespecting. This is the era where your glow becomes undeniable. Your boundaries become permanent. Your confidence becomes natural, and your elevation becomes continuous. They feel it transitioning. They feel it rising. They feel it slipping out of their control. They feel it transitioning. They feel it rising. They feel it slipping out of their control. That slow panic creeping in is the proof that your elevation hit a level where nobody can pretend not to notice. The shift didn't ask for their approval. It simply arrived. Everything about you carries a different gravity now, an intensity that wasn't there before, a clarity that makes people hesitate before stepping into your space, a sense of direction that leaves no room for old patterns to drag you backward. This transformation isn't subtle, and nobody around you can hide from the impact eyes that once looked at you with condescension now carry hesitation. The individuals who dismissed your ambition can't maintain the same tone when your progress walks into the room ahead of you. Conversations pause whenever your name slips out unexpectedly. Even people who never interacted with you directly can sense the motion in your story. It's almost amusing how fast the atmosphere shifts when someone who wasn't supposed to rise becomes the one everyone ends up studying. You didn't ask for that attention. Results pulled it in without effort. That's the kind of presence that forms when someone refuses to shrink to make others comfortable. You made decisions that didn't require confirmation from crowds that operate off insecurity. Every turn in your journey sharpened your instincts. Each setback refined your discipline. The pressure you endured molded you into someone who doesn't fold. Individuals who relied on shortcuts can't decode that process because they never had the willingness to survive the long route. They chose convenience. You chose substance. Now those choices sit side by side, and the comparison embarrasses them. Your progression rearranged their perception. People who once believed you were predictable can't grasp the direction you've taken. The foundation that held you back no longer applies, and the version of yourself that tolerated disrespect doesn't exist anymore. You've stepped into a new level of self-respect that refuses to let anyone treat you as less than what you've earned. That change forces everyone around you to adjust, whether they want to or not. An interesting thing happens when someone rises without attachments. Those who relied on influence start losing their balance. Individuals who inflate their importance by offering favors don't know how to respond when the person they underestimated reaches the top alone. That independence challenges their sense of value. It dismantles an internal narrative they held for years, the one where you needed them to move forward. Your glow exposes that lie. It shows that the grind you committed to carried more weight than any handout. It reveals that the pressure you endured did more for your growth than any superficial opportunity they dangled in front of you. And the best part? You never begged for involvement. You never kissed ass to secure validation. You never rode dick for recognition. Every step you took was fueled by conviction, not desperation. That reality burns them in a way no arguments or confrontations ever could. Individuals who rely on manipulation collapse when they can't control the outcome. Your rise shattered that dependency. You proved that nobody held the keys to your future. You proved that influence doesn't determine destiny. You proved that clout means nothing when character carries more force. And because those truths stand in front of them without apology, they're forced to confront uncomfortable realities about their own decisions. There's something powerful about walking your path with no strings attached. The freedom in your movement irritates anyone who depended on your uncertainty. They can't predict your next move because you no longer operate from fear. There's no hunger for approval guiding your steps. There's no desperation leaking from your choices. Your direction comes from alignment, not anxiety. That clarity builds a presence that doesn't need to shout to dominate a room. People who used to overlook you feel a sting each time your name appears in conversations they aren't prepared for. They never anticipated sitting in the audience while you stand in the spotlight. The discomfort in their reactions stems from witnessing the collapse of their assumptions. They thought you didn't have the capability to rise this far without bending for acceptance. But you kept moving, even when nobody clapped. That consistency carried you farther than their connections ever could. Bitterness is unavoidable for those who misjudged you. Watching someone succeed without their involvement destroys the illusion of superiority they built around themselves. They used to believe they were above you. They used to believe they were necessary. They used to believe your potential depended on their attention. Then the story flipped. You started winning without help. The narrative shifted, and now they exist outside the trajectory of your growth. People convince themselves they're harmless until someone proves how heavy their absence truly isn't. That's exactly what you did. You showed that your elevation didn't require a single one of them. That truth alone rewired their attitude. Suddenly they act distant. Suddenly they avoid eye contact. Suddenly their confidence evaporates when you show up. It's not fear, it's embarrassment. They see the difference between your journey and theirs, and they don't have the courage to accept it. Your transformation highlights everything they avoided doing. The consistency they mocked turned into the advancement they envy. The self-discipline they dismissed evolved into the success they can't escape. The boundaries they questioned became the filter that protected your peace. Even your silence carries weight now because your actions speak louder than any explanation you could have offered. The disrespect you endured feels insignificant compared to the evolution it created. Every moment you stayed focused during chaos built a version of you that doesn't break easily. That strength isn't loud, but it's undeniable. The individuals who once believed you were fragile can't recognize the person you've become. Their perception is outdated. Their judgments are irrelevant. Their expectations hold no power. One thing about rising without assistance: it reveals the truth about everyone connected to you. People who applauded only when it benefited them have nothing to hold on to now. People who pretended to support you while hoping you'd fail don't know how to hide their disappointment. People who kept you around for convenience don't know how to approach you. Their behavior shifts because your growth empties the space where their ego once lived. They don't stay up at 3 a.m. watching you because they admire you. Jealousy keeps them awake. The glow up wasn't supposed to be this bright, not in their eyes. They expected to shine first. They expected to stay ahead. They expected your progress to stall while theirs flourished. Now the roles reversed and they're left replaying their choices while you move forward with intention. They talk behind your back because speaking in front of you would reveal their insecurity. They study your progress because confronting their stagnation is too painful. They observe the way you carry yourself because their own identity feels empty. Every step you take reminds them of the work they avoided. Every milestone you reach forces them to acknowledge what they could have been. If they had conviction, they see the consequences of their laziness through your success. You didn't rise through luck. You rose through perseverance. You rose through discipline. You rose through grounding yourself in values that didn't bend under pressure. You rose through honoring your own voice. You rose through refusing to compromise your dignity for temporary acceptance. That kind of rise hits harder than anything gained through manipulation. Your name travels differently now. It carries a weight built on consistency, not gimmicks. It holds respect earned through honesty, not fake networking. It stands on strength developed during nights that nobody knew you were fighting through. People sense all of this without you speaking. Your energy carries a truth they can't deny. There's no need to revisit environments that once drained you. The path ahead is wider because you carved it with intention. The people who tried to make you feel small can't stand beside you at this level. They aren't equipped for the journey you're on. Their presence doesn't match your growth, and you aren't shrinking to make space for them again. Everything around you is evolving. Connections feel different. Opportunities appear naturally. Confidence flows without hesitation. Stability comes from the work you put in, not from the validation you used to chase. Life responds differently to those who stay true to themselves. You're living proof that authenticity clears obstacles that performance could never move. The reason your glow irritates them is simple. You didn't sacrifice your soul to reach this point. You didn't sell out. You didn't bend for fake friendships. You didn't attach yourself to people who didn't deserve access. You didn't chase clout. You didn't kiss ass. You didn't ride dick for position. You stayed grounded in your purpose, and everything around you adjusted to the frequency you built. That doesn't sit well with those who abandoned their integrity for quick advancement. They see the difference in the way you move, and it bothers them. You carry a calm that comes from trusting your direction. You move with intention instead of impulsive panic. You speak with clarity instead of insecurity. Those qualities form naturally when someone earns their rise instead of buying it with dignity. No matter how they spin the story, the truth remains. They're disturbed because they expected you to fail. They never imagined you'd outgrow their environment. They didn't think your potential extended beyond the limitations they placed on you. Your glow contradicts everything they claimed you couldn't be. That contradiction is the reason for their obsession. Your success challenges their worldview. Your progress disrupts their comfort. Your independence undermines their pride. Each step forward shakes something fragile inside them, and that fragility keeps them glued to your page late at night. But none of this requires revenge from you. The glow is enough. The progress is enough. The discipline is enough. The fact that you rose without anyone's permission is enough. Living truthfully is the most powerful response to the disrespect they gave you. Nothing stings a jealous heart more than realizing the person they doubted became untouchable. Your story is still unfolding. New chapters are building themselves with opportunities designed for someone who didn't take shortcuts. The next heights will be reached through the same authenticity that carried you here. That alone terrifies the ones who believed you peaked already. They see momentum where they prayed for stagnation. They see expansion where they wished for collapse. Nothing they do can stop this. Nothing they say can alter this. Nothing they plot can slow this. Your rise continues because it was never built on them. It was built on you.